So in this video, I'm going to tell you about the 4 books that changed my life. 4 books that could change your life as well. So unfortunately, the hard truth in life is that books are the key to becoming who you want to be or accomplishing the things you want to accomplish. And it's the hard truth because people have a hard time picking up books. They have a hard time sitting down and spending quiet time with themselves when they could just turn on Netflix and not have to deal with actually reading a book. A lot of people are hitting me up in the DMs asking which books I've read that have changed my life. That's why I'm making this video, to tell you those books, and hopefully you could pick them up and maybe have them change your life too. My life right now is pretty unique, it's pretty crazy, and it's so much fun. And I wouldn't be at this point in my life if I didn't read the books I'm going to tell you about. Just to give you an overview, I have 2 YouTube channels. One of them is a value-based entrepreneurial channel, the one you're watching right now. The other one is my trading channel, Market Moves. You can check it out, link in the bio. That's basically my business. The Market Moves channel is what brings in revenue, and it's what I'm consistently growing every single month. I just provide a bunch of products to people who need them and help them enhance their lives in the stock market. It's totally fun. The stock market's my #1 passion in life, aside from running. I'm also a professional runner right now, and I've just bought this house and I rent it out on Airbnb, bringing in about $20,000 to $30,000 per year. I'm going on my 3rd year of running my own business and being fully self-employed, and I haven't worked a full-time job since college, where I worked a couple internships that ended terrible and forced me into the entrepreneurial self-employed world. So I have a crazy, interesting, unique life, and it's something I built myself, and it's something that I had to learn. I had to learn from other people who have done it. I'm gonna give you one example of why books are so amazing. So this book I'm gonna teach you about today is called The Lean Startup. And I was running my startup basically 2 years ago before it failed completely. I'll probably make a video about that in the future, but I didn't know how to run a startup. I didn't know how to do it successfully, but there was a book out there of someone that did it, and people read this book every single day. My point being is, any problem you have in life, anything you want to accomplish, or any person you want to become in the next year or two, it's usually written about by someone else who has done that or been there. So for example, if you want to be the best photographer, CEO, or maybe the best athlete, there's books out there that Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, maybe Tom Brady have read and they recommend, and those books have propelled them to be better at being an athlete. Maybe you should pick up those books and check those out. If the best of the best in their field are reading those books, you should too if you want to become what they are. So I'm going to start out with my best and favorite book. This is one that everybody knows about that's an entrepreneur, or anyone that knows about passive income, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. All these books have links in the bio if you want to check them out on Amazon. But Rich Dad, Poor Dad was written by Robert Kiyosaki. And he had this problem in life where the school systems weren't teaching financial education. It's still a problem all over the world, and this is one reason why people go into major debt to get college educations, to get a house, to get a car, and they're not living their lives the right way because of that. So Robert Kiyosaki tried to change the system by writing this book and educating people all over the world on what passive income looks like, what assets and liabilities look like. And the coolest thing about this book is that anybody that's an entrepreneur, anybody that's a real estate mogul, anybody that wants to build passive income has read this book. This book has changed more people's lives than I can talk about. If you listen to any interviews of someone successful in the real estate world, they will tell you this book changed their mind. This book opened up everything. So summed up, I'm going to teach you the one biggest concept in this book that Kiyosaki wants you to know, is that in life, when you make money, you're going to buy one of 2 things. You're going to buy an asset, or you're going to buy a liability. Liabilities take money out of your pocket, and assets put money in your pocket. So for example, I bought this house. Everyone has a house. It's a liability for some people. It's an asset for me because it doesn't take all the money out of my pocket. It actually brings in some money. In some months, I live completely for free in my house with Airbnb. I have plenty of videos on this, links below on my channel. And I'll give you one more example. Everyone thinks a car is an asset because it gets them to work, but it's not. It's a liability because you have to pay bills every single month for it. Unless it generates any income or any cash, it is not an asset in any form. Now, if you use your car for Uber, or maybe you're using your car to rent out on Turo, now it's an asset because it's bringing in money for you. And I'll teach you about one of the other biggest concepts I picked up and something I try to live out with my business right now. is your time is your most valuable asset. If you're using your time to make money and that's all you're doing with your money, you're gonna run out of time and you're not gonna have a lot of money in the long run. What you really wanna do is use your time to make money and then use your money to make money for you. So use your money to buy assets because assets generate cash flow and income and eventually free up your time. That's the whole idea of passive income. That's the whole idea of freeing yourself from your job. Just for example, if you make $4,000 a month at your job, if you bought 10 houses, or let's say 3 houses, and they're bringing in $1,000, maybe even $2,000 per month, you can quit your job and just manage those houses because it's replacing your income and it's cash flowing. It doesn't really require too much of your time. Kiyosaki really wants everyone to get out of the employee mindset of working for your money and instead shift to the entrepreneurial and business mindset of having your money work for you. And the only way to do this is by buying assets and not liabilities. Now let's move on to the second book. So this book, talked about it earlier, is called The Lean Startup. And The Lean Startup really helped me understand how to manage my startup and how to grow it. So the word lean just basically means cutting cost and being efficient with how you use money in your business. This can be used for anybody that's living their life or anyone that's running a business. Most businesses that go under are ones that can't manage cash flow and are spending too much, basically not spending money smartly. So although I don't run a startup anymore, I run a big business. This is my mentality, and this is actually basically how I run my business and the mindset behind it. I'm very lean with my money. If I'm willing to spend $20, I want to see results. I'm not willing to throw away money just because my business is doing well. So this whole idea of being lean is also how I create my products. And I'll just give you an example. So right now I'm writing my own book on the 30 best trading setups. If you want to check it out, link in the bio. But I didn't just write this book 100% and say, that's the product I'm going to give to the market. I actually wrote part of the book, sent it off to some friends and family, got their opinions, and then wrote the rest of the book just based off of what they told me. And this is exactly what the book talks about, the lean startup. You want to try things in small batches, validate that it works, and then continue the cycle. So once I found out that the book was good, the information was good, I wrote the whole book and I did it again. I went back through the circle. As you can see, there's a circle on the book. So this is the whole idea of going through this whole process of creating, testing, tweaking, and doing that again. So now that I have the full book, I'm giving it to my friends and family again to make sure I'm getting the right feedback. The worst thing you want to do in business or a startup is push a product out there that nobody wants and nobody values. You really want to put something in the market that has a competitive edge, a good price point, and more importantly, value that it delivers to everybody. My biggest fear is that when I release this book on Amazon, nobody buys it, but the worst fear is when people do buy it, they're going to email me and say, this is the worst book ever. I didn't get any ideas on the best setups from it. And I'm going to give you one more example of a startup I know that's close by and someone that's done, and I'll give you another example of a startup near me that is failing and not doing the lean startup mentality. So my friend who's making this product and testing it out, he doesn't even know if the market wants it. He doesn't even know if the product works, but he still batch ordered 1,000 of them, got them sent to his house, made all the products, and now he's testing them. The lean mentality is not that mentality. He should have gone with one product, validated the concept, validated it worked, gone on to 10, then 100, because every time you go through this circle, you're going to find something new you didn't know. You're going to learn something you can tweak to make the next batch better. The worst thing you can do with a startup company is burn money that you don't need to burn. This lean mentality should go on with the rest of your business, and you should really never lose this mentality. And that's how I run my business today. So the third book that changed my life is How to Win Friends and Influence People, because in business, you're going to be a salesperson, especially if you're running your own business. The only way you make money is if you gain people's trust and you understand, how to treat them as normal people and how to value them. So this book was sold 15 million copies. This is the book they give everybody that goes in the insurance business, everyone that goes in their own business in general. I'm going to tell you about some key concepts I got from this book because This is how I live my life. I really care about people in general. So this book kind of validated how I care about people more. Because if I want to run a business, nobody's going to buy my products. Nobody's going to trust me if they don't think I care. I truly do care. I'm putting out this free video. I don't really get paid too much for it, just to enhance your life. A lot of people are going to ask me, what books do you read? What books have changed your life? And this video is going to be out there forever because of that. So how to win friends and influence people is huge for everybody. The number one thing I took away from this book is call people by their name. Don't say, hey bud or dude. Call people by their actual name. That's how they feel valued. That's how they feel like an individual. It's so simple, and it could be the step between making a friend or making a sale. The second thing I got out of this book is when you're at lunch with someone or when you're at a party, get them talking. Ask them about their life. Ask them what's happening with them. Have them talking as much as possible. If you talk as little as possible, they will think you're the best conversationalist. The funny point they bring up in this book is that in a conversation, you think it's one person talking, the other person talks, and it's back and forth. But the best conversations are when one person talks and one person listens. And the last big takeaway I got from that book is you don't want to cause friction with people. You want to be that guy that's easygoing, that guy everyone's excited when you walk in the room. So those are the three big takeaways. That is a huge book for everyone that wants to win friends and influence people, which in this world is probably something everyone really wants to do deep down. Just comes down to this, is knowing their name, listening, keeping them talking, and then lastly, just not causing friction, just being an easygoing guy. And the last book that really changed my life is this Ryan Holiday book. And I'm a big Ryan Holiday fan. He's written 3 books, Ego is the Enemy, Obstacle is the Way, and then this one is probably my favorite. This is Stillness is the Key. A little bit more spiritual and a little bit more mindful. So this book has been great for me as an athlete, trying to get inside my own head and do the right things, think the right way. The truth is we all need a little bit more stillness in our life. And as a CEO, this book is great. As an athlete, this book is great. As someone who's a family member, a husband, this book is great for them too. So if you want to just enhance your life and get more out of it, get more happiness out of it, this book is really, really great to pick up. And I'm going to tell you why, tell you the biggest points I got from this book. So the big problem with modern society is that there's so much technology out there that makes everything instant, makes notifications come off every couple of seconds. And it's very, very hard for people to decompress, find happiness, find stillness in all these situations. If you're moving a mile a minute, you're not noticing things. You're not really enjoying the actual moments and minutes that are passing by. And that's the difference, honestly, between being happy and not being happy. So stillness is really the key for this stuff, as corny as that sounds. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I really picked up on how to become more still. One of them is just being in nature a little bit more. Take your cell phone, keep it in the car, go drive to a trail, or for me, a mountain in Colorado, and just go hike for a couple hours. Get inside your own head and experience the silence around you, the nature. They call it a nature bath, and it can really help you just connect with nature, connect with yourself, and really just release yourself from all the things going on in your life. The whole goal is to cultivate silence. Silence in your day, silence to decompress and get away from everything happening. This can be done with nature. It can be done by meditation. It can be done through running. I run every single day, and sometimes I just listen to my breath for 10 minutes straight, or just 15 minutes. I'll just notice my foot hitting the ground, and I just forget about everything going on. And that just really helps me go to my next thing and not carry any baggage from what's been happening in my life. There's been a lot of examples in this book of famous people, and this is what I really love about this book. Famous people that completely collapse because they don't have stillness in their life. If you take Tiger Woods, for example, he was one example in this book. He didn't have stillness in his mind. His mind was basically controlled by this one thing he wanted, was to win every tournament, PGA Tour, whatever. He wanted to be the best golfer possible, and he had this ego about him. So he had no stillness, and he just went on this wrecking path, wrecking his family, wrecking all the people he played against. He just wanted to win at all costs. This was developed prior from his relationship with his father, where it was almost like a drill sergeant getting him, where his father was almost like a drill sergeant trying to make him the best golfer ever in history. So that whole process, that whole relationship kind of ruined him for the future, and he really never sat down down and analyzed it. So for everyone that's truly successful, even Michael Jordan is mentioned in this book, the way you get there really matters. Are you getting there with dignity and respect? How you get there is going to change what's going to happen at the top. If I give you $1 million tomorrow, is your life going to be better or worse? Are your relationships going to be better or worse? Is the person inside you taken care of? And honestly, that's what scares me with my life. If my business really takes off and triples or doubles this year, what happens? How's my mentality? How is my stillness? This is a huge book for anyone that's hopefully going to be successful in the future, someone that's trying to achieve it right now, or someone like me that's an athlete. I think athletes really need to be still to perform well. And if they don't do that, they're not going to have success in the sport. So again, those are the 4 books that I love and the 4 books that changed my life. And if you want to check them out, links in the bio. And drop me a comment for the book that changed your life. I'm just generally curious and I'd love to hear it. Lastly, I want to share a video with why I run every single day and how it can change your life. Stay tuned. The truth is, running sucks. And I've done it every day for the past 10 years, totaling up 27,000 miles.